Beauty through loving kindness, an in-depth exploration. Have you ever wondered what makes someone truly beautiful? Is it the perfectly sculpted features, the flawless complexion, or perhaps something deeper, something invisible yet powerfully radiant? In a society so often obsessed with the pursuit of physical perfection, we tend to forget that real beauty is not just about how we look. It's about how we make others feel, the warmth in our eyes, and the kindness in our actions. What if the essence of beauty lies in the quality of our hearts rather than any external change? The theme of beauty through loving kindness invites us to look beyond the mirror and uncover a perspective that might just change everything. The Supreme Buddha, one of the greatest teachers of humanity, introduced a concept of beauty that emerges from within, beauty that comes from loving kindness. Isn't that an extraordinary idea? He outlined 11 distinct benefits of practicing loving kindness, and astonishingly, one of these benefits is an enhancement of one's physical appearance. This profound teaching encourages us to shift our focus from superficial beauty to something far more meaningful. What if true beauty is already within us, waiting to bloom through the care we extend to others? Ready to unlock the secret to true beauty? Subscribe now and let loving kindness transform your life. 2 types of beauty, outer and inner. To understand this better, let's think about 2 distinct types of beauty, outer and inner. Outer beauty, beauty of the skin. This is the beauty that most people think of, features like smooth skin, well-proportioned facial structure, and youthfulness. Outer beauty is admired, sought after, and often becomes a source of pressure and anxiety. But isn't it fleeting? As the years pass, the body changes, youth fades, and no amount of skincare products or cosmetic surgeries can completely halt this inevitable process. Outer beauty, no matter how much effort is invested, is impermanent. Inner beauty, beauty of the heart on the other hand, inner beauty is about our minds, emotions, and intentions. It's the beauty shaped by compassion, generosity, patience, and loving kindness. And here's the beautiful paradox: unlike outer beauty, inner beauty is enduring. When a person nurtures a kind heart, their outer appearance begins to reflect that goodness. Have you ever met someone who just seemed to glow from within? This kind of beauty surpasses anything that could be achieved through cosmetic means. It's the true light of one's soul. The impact of inner beauty on outer appearance. The Buddhist teachings emphasize something quite remarkable: our thoughts have a direct influence on our outward expressions, even our facial features. Think about it for a moment. If we are filled with anger, jealousy, or anxiety, these emotions inevitably manifest themselves: furrowed brows, tense posture, or perhaps a weary, uninviting expression. But what if we filled our hearts with loving kindness, peace, and compassion? Imagine the transformation. Our faces relax, our smiles become genuine, and our presence becomes magnetic. Can you see the connection here? The outer shell is shaped by what lies inside. Consider someone who is perpetually stressed or anxious. Maybe you've noticed that their eyes lack vitality or that they appear older than they are. Emotions, whether positive or negative, deeply influence our bodies. A mind clouded with negativity directly impacts hormone production, sleep quality, and even skin health. But what if we could turn it around? A mind filled with loving thoughts, with kindness and empathy, leads to a relaxed body, a radiant smile, and an undeniable glow. Isn't that an incredible thought? Loving kindness meditation, metta bhavana, a key aspect of Buddhist teaching, encourages us to generate thoughts of unconditional love towards all beings. This isn't just about others, it's about nourishing our own hearts. The person who practices loving kindness regularly often appears radiant and inviting, regardless of age or features. Their true transformation comes from within. As their heart softens, so does their entire being. Practicing loving kindness for true beauty. How can we truly embrace beauty that lasts? The answer is loving kindness, cultivating a heart that is free of anger, jealousy, or ill will and instead filled with genuine goodwill for others. It's an active practice, not a passive state of being. Imagine striving to be genuinely happy for others' successes, wishing them well, and treating everyone with respect. Wouldn't that bring out a beauty that surpasses any physical characteristic? Genuine beauty has nothing to do with facial symmetry, it's in the way you smile with warmth, in the way you make others feel valued and seen. Think of the people in your life whom you consider truly beautiful. Are they the ones with the most flawless skin, or are they the ones whose kindness and care have touched your heart? It's their glow, the natural outcome of a peaceful heart, that leaves a lasting impression. The science behind loving kindness and physical appearance. This might surprise you, modern science also validates this age-old wisdom. Studies have shown that practicing loving-kindness meditation can lower cortisol levels, the stress hormone, and increase oxytocin production, the hormone associated with love, trust, and relaxation. Have you ever noticed how people who are relaxed and happy seem more attractive? It's no coincidence. When we practice loving kindness, we are literally altering our physiology in ways that make us more vibrant and healthy. Lower stress, better sleep, healthier skin, all these are effects of nurturing a positive mind. Positive psychology even tells us that the mood-enhancing benefits of loving kindness reduce anxiety, improve sleep, and help us experience life more fully. Isn't it fascinating how caring for our minds can directly influence how we appear to the world? Loving kindness as a path to happiness and beauty. One of the most touching aspects of loving kindness is that it fosters a genuine sense of connection. In a world where many feel lonely, isn't it wonderful that a simple practice can create bonds that go beyond superficial appearances? When we genuinely care for others, we become part of a greater whole, a network of goodwill that transcends our individual existence. The result? We not only feel beautiful but deeply connected to the world around us. Think about confidence, not the kind based on looks but the kind that stems from genuine kindness. When we practice loving kindness, we naturally become less self-conscious and more others-focused. This shift is incredibly freeing, allowing us to embrace who we are without anxiety or fear of judgment. Isn't that the most authentic form of beauty, being at ease, at peace, and radiating genuine warmth? Real-life examples of beauty through loving kindness. Throughout history, there have been shining examples of people whose beauty radiated from the inside out. Think of Mother Teresa. Her compassion and selflessness made her one of the most beautiful souls the world has ever known. Or the Dalai Lama, his laughter and warmth resonate far beyond his physical presence. What makes these individuals beautiful isn't their physical traits but the love and compassion they extend to the world. Isn't that the kind of beauty we should all strive for? Take Princess Diana, for instance. Her humanitarian work, her empathy for the marginalized, these qualities made her truly beautiful, far more than any designer gown or royal title. She touched lives not because of her appearance, but because of her ability to care deeply for others. Think about Nelson Mandela, a leader whose inner beauty shone through his resilience, forgiveness, and compassion for all people, even those who had wronged him. He emerged from decades of imprisonment with a heart full of love rather than hatred, and that inner strength made him one of the most admired figures in history. His smile, his grace, and his unwavering dedication to equality, all of these stemmed from a profound inner beauty that no physical hardship could diminish. Similarly, consider Mahatma Gandhi, whose pursuit of nonviolence and truth made him a symbol of peace and compassion. Gandhi's physical appearance was simple, even austere, but his inner beauty made him a beacon of hope for millions. His loving kindness towards all beings, regardless of caste or creed, gave him an aura that transcended his frail body. Isn't it incredible how true beauty can inspire entire nations? Loving kindness in everyday heroes. While historical figures like Mother Teresa, the Dalai Lama, Princess Diana, Nelson Mandela, and Mahatma Gandhi provide us with grand examples of beauty through loving kindness, we must also remember the everyday heroes around us. Think of the teacher who goes the extra mile to help a struggling student, the nurse who works tirelessly to comfort patients, or the neighbor who always lends a helping hand. These individuals may not be famous, but their beauty is unmistakable. Imagine a single mother working 2 jobs to provide for her children. She may not have the time or resources to focus on her physical appearance, but her love, dedication, and sacrifice make her truly beautiful. Her children see her as the most beautiful person in the world, not because of her clothes or makeup, but because of the boundless love she gives them. Isn't that the essence of true beauty? Consider the friend who always listens without judgment, offering a shoulder to cry on when times are tough. This kind of beauty doesn't fade, it grows stronger with every act of kindness, every moment of empathy. The beauty of loving kindness is that it is accessible to all of us, regardless of our circumstances. It is a beauty that comes from the heart and touches everyone we encounter. Cultivating loving kindness, a lifelong practice. Cultivating loving kindness is not a one-time event, it is a lifelong practice, a journey that requires patience, dedication, and mindfulness. The path to true beauty is not always easy, but it is deeply rewarding. Here are some additional ways to nurture loving kindness in your daily life. Mindful breathing. Start each day with mindful breathing. As you inhale, think of the love and kindness you wish to cultivate. As you exhale, let go of any anger, jealousy, or negativity. This simple practice can set a positive tone for the rest of your day. Loving kindness mantras. Use loving kindness mantras throughout the day to keep your heart open. Phrases like, "May all beings be happy," or "May I be filled with compassion," can help reinforce a positive mindset. Repeating these mantras can be especially helpful during challenging situations when it is difficult to feel loving. Acts of forgiveness. Practice forgiveness, not just towards others, but towards yourself. Holding on to grudges or past mistakes only weighs us down. By letting go of resentment, we make room for love and compassion to grow. Forgiveness is a powerful act of loving kindness that can transform our relationships and our own sense of well-being. Deep listening. One of the greatest gifts we can give others is our full attention. Practice deep listening, being fully present without interrupting or thinking about what you will say next. When we listen with compassion, we validate others' experiences and show them that they are valued. This kind of listening can deepen our connections and help us cultivate a loving heart. Service to others. Engage in acts of service, whether it's volunteering at a local shelter, helping a neighbor, or simply being there for a friend in need. Service is one of the most powerful ways to cultivate loving kindness. When we help others, we shift our focus away from ourselves, and this selflessness can lead to a deeper sense of fulfillment and beauty. The ripple effect of loving kindness. The beauty of loving kindness is that it doesn't just affect the individual practicing it, it has a ripple effect that touches everyone around them. Imagine the impact if each of us made a conscious effort to cultivate loving kindness in our daily lives. Our workplaces would be more harmonious, our communities more supportive, and our world more compassionate. Think about the power of a simple smile. A genuine smile, born from a heart filled with loving kindness, can brighten someone's day, lift their spirits, and even inspire them to pass on that kindness to others. This is the ripple effect of loving kindness. It spreads, creating waves of positivity that can transform not just our own lives but the lives of countless others. Consider the story of a man who decided to pay for the coffee of the person in line behind him at a coffee shop. This small act of kindness led to a chain reaction, with each person in line paying for the next person's order. By the end of the day, dozens of people had experienced a moment of unexpected joy, all because one person decided to practice loving kindness. Isn't it amazing how one small act can create such a profound impact? Loving kindness and self-acceptance. An essential aspect of loving kindness is learning to extend it to ourselves. For many of us, being kind to others comes more naturally than being kind to ourselves. We are often our harshest critics, focusing on our flaws and shortcomings rather than celebrating our strengths and achievements. But true beauty begins with self-acceptance and self-love. Imagine looking in the mirror and seeing yourself not with judgment, but with compassion. What if, instead of focusing on what you perceive as imperfections, you acknowledge the love and kindness that you bring into the world? Self-compassion is the foundation of loving kindness. When we learn to accept and love ourselves as we are, we become more open to extending that same kindness to others. Self-acceptance also means embracing our vulnerabilities. We all have moments of doubt, fear, or sadness. These emotions are part of the human experience. By acknowledging and accepting these emotions without judgment, we create space for healing and growth. Isn't it liberating to know that we don't have to be perfect to be beautiful? Our beauty lies in our authenticity, in our willingness to be fully ourselves, flaws and all. The transformative power of loving kindness in relationships. Loving kindness has the power to transform our relationships, whether they are with family, friends, colleagues, or even strangers. When we approach others with a heart filled with loving kindness, we create an environment of trust, respect, and understanding. This kind of environment allows relationships to flourish, even in the face of challenges. Imagine a conflict with a loved one. How often do misunderstandings escalate because we are focused on proving that we are right rather than understanding the other person's perspective? Loving kindness invites us to approach conflicts with empathy, to listen with the intention of understanding rather than reacting. By practicing loving kindness, we can transform conflicts into opportunities for deeper connection and growth. Consider the story of a couple who had been married for many years but found themselves drifting apart. They decided to practice loving-kindness meditation together, focusing on wishing each other happiness, health, and peace. Over time, they noticed a shift in their relationship. The small irritations that once led to arguments no longer seemed important. Instead, they began to appreciate each other's efforts and express gratitude more often. Their relationship was transformed, not because of any external change, but because of the loving kindness they cultivated in their hearts. Loving kindness in challenging times. Practicing loving kindness can be particularly powerful during challenging times. When we are faced with difficulties, whether it's the loss of a loved one, a health crisis, or a period of uncertainty, it's easy to become overwhelmed by negative emotions. During these times, loving kindness can serve as a lifeline, helping us navigate our challenges with grace and resilience. Consider the story of a man who lost his job and was struggling to make ends meet. He began practicing loving-kindness meditation, focusing on sending love and compassion to himself and others. This practice helped him shift his focus from fear and frustration to gratitude for the support he received from friends and family. It also inspired him to volunteer at a local food bank, where he found a sense of purpose and connection. Through loving kindness, he was able to find beauty in the midst of hardship and transform his experience into one of growth and healing. Loving kindness also helps us cultivate resilience. When we approach life's challenges with a heart full of compassion, we are better able to cope with setbacks and disappointments. We learn to see difficulties not as insurmountable obstacles, but as opportunities for growth and learning. Isn't it empowering to know that we have the ability to transform even the most challenging situations through the power of loving kindness? The role of loving kindness in building a better world. Imagine a world where loving kindness was the guiding principle for all of our actions. What kind of world would that be? A world where people treated each other with respect and compassion, where conflicts were resolved through understanding rather than violence, and where the well-being of all beings was prioritized. This is not an unattainable ideal, it is a vision that can be realized through the collective practice of loving kindness. Consider the impact of loving kindness on social issues. When we approach issues like poverty, inequality, and environmental degradation with a heart full of compassion, we are motivated to take action. Loving kindness inspires us to work towards creating a more just and equitable world. It reminds us that we are all interconnected, and that the well-being of one affects the well-being of all. Think about the leaders who have inspired positive change in the world. Figures like Martin Luther King Jr., Nelson Mandela, and Malala Yousafzai were driven by a deep sense of compassion and a desire to alleviate the suffering of others. Their actions were rooted in loving kindness, and their beauty was evident not in their physical appearance, but in the love and courage they brought to their work. Isn't it inspiring to know that we all have the potential to create positive change in the world through the power of loving kindness? Loving kindness and the environment. Loving kindness is not limited to our interactions with other people, it also extends to the natural world. When we cultivate a heart full of compassion, we develop a deep respect for all living beings, including the animals, plants, and ecosystems that make up our planet. This kind of compassion motivates us to take care of the environment and make choices that support the well-being of all beings. Consider the impact of our daily choices on the environment. When we practice loving kindness, we become more mindful of how our actions affect the world around us. We may choose to reduce our consumption, support sustainable practices, or advocate for policies that protect the environment. Loving kindness encourages us to see the natural world not as a resource to be exploited, but as a living, breathing entity that deserves our care and respect. Imagine the beauty of a world where people lived in harmony with nature, where the air was clean, the water pure, and the forests thriving. This vision can become a reality when we approach the environment with loving kindness. By extending our compassion to all living beings, we can create a more beautiful and sustainable world for future generations. Conclusion: redefining beauty. Isn't it time we redefined what beauty truly means? Instead of striving for flawless skin or the perfect figure, why not focus on cultivating the qualities that genuinely make us shine: compassion, kindness, and generosity? The teachings of the Supreme Buddha remind us that beauty is not about what lies on the surface but what resides in our hearts and minds. This kind of beauty is liberating because it doesn't fade, it grows deeper and more profound with time. Imagine a world where everyone sought to enhance their inner beauty. What a different place it would be. Let's strive to make our beauty one that cannot be erased by age or diminished by physical changes. When we practice loving kindness, our beauty becomes timeless, a reflection of the love and peace within. Isn't that the kind of beauty that leaves a lasting impact? Thank you for taking this journey with me. May you be inspired to cultivate loving kindness in your own life. Let your inner beauty shine so brightly that it illuminates the world around you. After all, true beauty, the kind that inspires, uplifts, and connects, comes from the heart. May you be happy, may you be healthy, and may your kindness transform not only your appearance but the world around you.